Hello everyone, my name is Ahmet and this is our 8th experiment. Today's topic is about pointers. We will learn how pointer works and how we can use them. Let's read our question and pass the writing code without wasting time. At the first question it says, write a program that asks the user to enter integers as input to be stored in the variables a and b respectively. There are also two integer pointers named pointer a and pointer b. Assign the values of a and b to pointer a and pointer b respectively and display them. Okay. Actually, the question explains all the things that we have to do. What does it say? We will have two integer values, and then we have two pointers, and we will assign the values inside a and b to pointer a and pointer b. So let's open a new source file and begin to writing our codes. I will define here a couple of integers that I will need in the program, and I will also define here my pointers. This is how we can define pointers. To use a pointer, firstly we should define them like this, and then we will give them an address, and we are ready to and we will be ready to use that pointers. First of all, we will ask from user to give the our integer a, and we will assign it to a, and then we will ask from user to enter the integer b. Okay, now we have our integer a and b. Now we will assign the values in the a and b to pointer a and pointer b. How we can do that? We said that to use a pointer, first we should define them, and then we should give them an address. How we can give them address? Like this. This is called reference operator. You know this. How we can read it? Address of a. Now pointer a has address of variable a. It should be small. And what is this reference operator? As you know, every variable has an address within the memory, and we call these addresses to reference to that variable. And we will give pointer b to address of integer b. Now our pointers have addresses of a and b, and then let's display them on the screen and see what do we have inside our pointers. When we write it like this, this will display on the screen the value that pointer a points to. What does pointer a points to? It points to variable a, because pointer a holds address of integer a. And then we will do the same thing for pointer b. And we will see on the screen the value of integer b, because pointer b holds address of integer b. And let's say again, we can read this instruction like the value that pointer b points to. And to see, let's display secondly addresses of pointer a. When we write it like this, these will display the addresses of integer a and integer b, because as you see, pointer a and pointer b holds addresses. We assigned here the address of a and b to pointer a and pointer b. We will see on the screen the addresses of pointer a and pointer b. To compare, let's display on the screen addresses of a and b also, and we can see they are same with the above address. This will give us addresses of integer e. So let's compile and see what do we have on the screen. It says enter an integer, let's say 25, and we will enter integer b, let's say 48. So let's look together with our program. We enter integer e and b as 25 and 48. It displayed on the screen the value that pointer a points to. What does it? 25. And secondly, it displays on the screen the value that pointer b points to. What does it? 48. And then we said let's write on the screen the addresses of pointer a and pointer b. As we write here, pointer a and pointer b holds addresses of a and b, and you can see the addresses are all same. The address of pointer a is same with address of integer a, because this pointer holds address of our integer a, and address of the address that pointer b holds is same with the address of integer b. Okay, I guess we understand the logic of pointers. Let's pass to second question. What does second question says? Write a C++ program to find the maximum of an integral dataset. The program will ask the user to input the number of data values in the set, and each value. The program prints on screen a pointer that points to the maximum value. Actually, we did this example before, but we will again do with using pointers. Let's open a new source file and write our code. This n is our size of array, and we will use this integer e in the loop, and I will define a maximum value and equal it to 0. Firstly, we will ask user to enter the number of values, and then we will write it to n. And then secondly, we ask the user to enter the array variables one by one. Let's define our array. Our array size is n, and we will write the values into the array one by one. Okay, we created our array. Now we will compare each value in the array by the maximum value, and we will find our maximum value. Again, we will use an for loop. Let's define here another integer to use it in the loop. If array is bigger than the maximum value, our maximum value will be that array. Our maximum value will be the value of that array. Every time it will compare the value in the array with the maximum value, and finally it will find the maximum value inside array. And we created our array here, and we find the maximum value inside the array, and we should use a pointer to display it on the screen. We will give our pointer the addresses of our maximum value. How we can do that? We will use reference operator again. Now our pointer holds the address of maximum value, and when we display on the screen this pointer, it will give us the maximum value. Largest integer value in the array is our pointer. Let's compile and see how our program works. First, it says enter the number of values. Let's say we will give 5 value, and we are ready to give the array values. First, let's say 4, 8, 25, 56, and 12. It says largest integer value in the array is 56. You see, lastly we write here largest integer value in the array is. We use to display on the screen maximum value and pointer. We can directly write it maximum, but the question asks from us to use pointers to understand better the usage of pointers. Okay, that is all for today. We completed our experiment. See you.